Yes, my people, welcome back to Tenacious Trading Group. So we are back with another one, and I am currently on gold, which is my 1 hour time frame, which is also my higher time frame. But we pretty much have a bearish zone where this is my market structure break. This is a validated swing low because we've got a candle that's lower than one to the left and one to the right, and we've closed above it first before taking out these lows. So that's valid. And then now when it comes to my zone where we're now trading from this protected high, and we're now trading until this week low. So everything's out of just this internal structure, and I pretty much now want price to run these external weak lows, and I want price to respect this external protected high. So within this, I mean, I can see two frames of SBS. So we have the first one where this is the one, this is the two, this is the three price sweeps, making this the four, and then potentially this is the five. But I can also see how someone may also use this as the one, this as the two, that as the three, where price sweeps this, and then now you're looking for potentially four and five. So there's no real right or wrong answer, because once you've seen the SBS, the manipulation pattern, you're still looking for things to help you potentially get in. So it's not the end of the world if you now don't enter trade instantly. And we have tapped into this SNDR because this is the last up down movement which helped to facilitate this market structure break, and we've tapped into it quite nicely, and then obviously prices now potentially wanted to make its way lower. So now that the 1 hour is out the way, I can start going to my low time frame and then seeing how I can now set myself up and potentially take a trade. So we can see where we've tapped into the area of interest, and then just ever since then we can see that price has just been making lower lows and lower highs. So we have taken out this low internally, and then we've also taken out this low internally. So I can start looking for potential trades where price wants to, make its way lower. And I mean, there are there is SBS within here. It's just not the cleanest. So I don't want to try and show you guys setups that are quite hard to see, especially at the beginning of your trading journey. But there is SBS within this equation in which you can take, where pretty much this wick is the one, two, three price sweeps, four, five, and then we end up taking out our lows. But again, it's not the best quality SBS, hence why I'm not really trying to show that to you. But we're now below the SMAs, and we pretty much have fib geo, because if I mark at this pullback from this low to this high, we do tap the 50%. So that's pretty much step one. That's pretty much step one. And then step two is just being able to draw it from this high to the pullback. That's step two, where prices at least expanded to the 100% level. And obviously, we've clearly taken out those lows. And now you're pretty much drawing the fib from this high to this is the current low. So I don't know if price will retrace further. And if you let price do its thing. Okay, yeah, so price does actually retrace back to that 50% level. But we also have SBS in this equation, where this is the one, two, this is the low low, which is the three. We swept, making this a four, and then now you're looking for that entry confirmation, which makes this the five. So based off the fib geo, you can pretty much take this based off the 50%. If you're now looking for that internal flip, you can head over to our 1 minute time frame, and within a 1 minute time frame, you can see that price is actually quite making high highs and higher lows, and we have taken out this high, and then we took out these highs, and we ended up taking out these lows. So we took out these highs here, and then we ended up taking out the lows. I mean, this is not a validated swing high, so the likelihood of this flip may not be the greatest. So just to be on the safe side, we will use this. So once price has actually flipped, we'll use that zone instead, and then let's confirm that price won't set lower. And okay, so we finally close, and then you can see how we have SBS Model 1, and I haven't taught you guys SBS Model 1 yet, where this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 5. I haven't taught you guys SBS Model 1 yet, which is such a shame, because it is a little bit more difficult, and it does stem around support and resistance, so it is quite hard to show you guys at bird's eye view. But anywho, if let's just go back to the 5 minute. If he was using a fib geo anyways, short position at the 50%, so I've had a first pullback, and obviously you'll just target whatever you want to target. And then if you just let price play out, yeah, so price has come close to a pretty much a 2R, which is the 361 level. And if you want to take out your profits, you can so be it. If you want to move your stop to a break even, that's also up to you. But this has all come from understanding that on my 1 hour time frame, price is bearish. You know, we have a bearish SBS. Price has tapped into a higher time frame area of interest, and then within my lower time frame, all I've done is just trade the pullbacks. You know, and that's pretty much it. So again, we just have to catch a bit of the move. We don't need to catch the whole move, and then we can call it a day. This is probably not the best example, but sometimes price will not be clean, and it's just being able to kind of spot and see what is going on. But this is why we have a checklist, just to make sure that we're not forgetting anything. So when you are a little bit confused, you can just have a checklist there, see what's going on, see if this is a trade that you potentially want to take. If it's not, then you call it a day. Obviously, you have a trading rules. If there's no zone, you're not going to trade. If there's no areas of interest, you're not going to trade. If there's no SBS, you're not going to trade. If there's no soup, you're not going to trade. So there are things that you've now put in place where you're going to have to follow. There are rules for a reason. So if this is something that you would have liked to take, so be it, based off your rules and your checklist. If this is something that you can't take based off your rules and the checklist, then you just don't take it at all. But as I said before, your higher time frame is always going to win, and let's just make sure that we're following the higher time frame, because the trend is your friend. You don't want to be going against the trend. You want to be following the higher time frame trend. I know we use a 1 hour, but you can always use a 15 minute, and you can always use the 1 minute. So within a 15 minute, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, and it's still pretty much the same thing for 5. Price has taken out our previous low. So if you want to use a 15 minute and then the 1 minute as your entry confirmation, so be it, guys. But as I would say, rich belongs to the most tenacious. And wherever in the world, I'm just guys a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace and ciao.